everybody, welcome back to the Beach Bum Bookworm. I am Tiffany. I'm so glad y'all found me again today. My channel's all about cozy mysteries and romance books. And today I'm here with my January 2024 cozy mystery releases. If you think about the dates, I was like, okay, wait, I can't believe we're wrapping up the first month of the year. It's insane to me. I feel like I blinked. I'm not really sure how y'all feel about it, but it's wacky. I read several romances this month. I'm very proud of myself because one of my goals this year is to try to be at least a little more even between my cozy mysteries and my romance. It's always going to be cozy mystery heavy, but I did much better. I read 23 books in the month of February. 13 were cozy mysteries. The rest were romance. So here we are. I did separate them. If you want to see my cozy mystery wrap up, it's there. But I know people don't necessarily always read both. So here we are for the romance part of things. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. The first book I finished was called Trickshot. This was actually a Christmas novella that I found. This is probably one of the spiciest books I've ever read. This is by Kayla Grossi. I gave it, I guess 3 cups of coffee. I mean, I enjoyed it, but there's not much to it. And especially because it's a novella, obviously it's short, but really there's not much to it other than the spice. It was fun, but yeah. So our main character is a twin. His name is Leo. His twin is a hockey star. He also was slated to be in the NHL, but hurt his knee. And this is an MMF. So the main female character, she was at the airport. She sees him. She thinks he's the NHL star, which is his twin brother. And they get to talking and he invites her home. And he has a best friend that's a male that he also is in not really a committed relationship with, but they're kind of partners. And so they bring her into the fold. It's the 3 of them. Like I said, it was incredibly spicy. It was a fun time. 3 cups of coffee. About 6 jalapenos. Next up, I read A Christmas Rescue. This is by Samantha Chase. I really liked the other ones I read. This one was all right. I get 2.5 because I don't think it deserves a 3, but I didn't hate it or anything. First I thought that the main character, her name is Bailey. She works at a vet office, and the male hero in this is the veterinarian at the office. And I thought Bailey was just at points insufferable. And then it went from insufferable to war and love. I'm not saying you can't go from insufferable to lust, but it was just like there was no development. And I don't know. I gave it 2.5 cups of coffee. I'll continue the Silver Bells Fall series because it's such a sweet Christmas romance series. And I enjoyed the other ones I read. So I'll read the next one, but this one just didn't do it for me. Next up, I read Defending Allie. This is the first book in the Mountain Mercenaries not cozy mystery series, romance series. See? By Susan Stoker. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4.5 cups of coffee. I really enjoyed it. The only reason I took off the 0.5, and this is just a personal thing, is because I did not like that we got the point of view of the psychopath in this. So this one, our main character, Gray, is part of this mercenary group that does these missions to recover mostly women and children in sex trafficking type of things. I don't know if I can say that on here. So anyways, whatever that rhymes with, I won't say it again, but there you go. And our main character, Allie, she is been basically this psychopath who has been doing those things I mentioned earlier numerous times and has other women, is obsessed with her. He wants her as his number one gal. And so he arranges to take her. And our main character, Gray. I don't know what to say because I don't want to use those certain words. Okay, so then Gray is sent on a mission to recover her. Well, not actually. He's sent on a mission to like break up what's happening, but he didn't expect to find her. He actually didn't expect that to be part of the rescue. And she is on the boat that he has a mission to go and find more information about what's going on. And she's just there and she's tied up and everything. And he's like, oh my gosh. So he ends up obviously rescuing her, and there's a lot more. She ends up like baiting herself to find this psychopath. And I just didn't like his point of view at all. The way it was written was so creepy to me. Obviously he was a psychopath, but like, it was just written really well. I just didn't, it creeped me out. Otherwise, 4.5 stars. Will definitely continue this series. Really enjoyed it. Next up, I read number 2 in the Dare crossover series, Just a Little Secret by Carly Phillips and Erica Wilde. I gave this 4 cups of coffee, probably closer to 4.5. I really, really enjoyed this. This is number 2. I hadn't read number 1 at the time. I did go back and read number 1. You'll hear about that in a minute. But there was this auction going on, and Georgia is our main character. Her parents are very much like, we want you to marry Dad's protege for our law firm. So they just expect that that's what she's going to do. And her sister is kind of the wild child. Like her parents don't even try to kind of like reel her in. But Georgia, they still kind of have under their thumb. Well, her sister buys this guy that she kind of had this moment with at this gala event. His name is Drew. Drew and Georgia had this evening at this gala where clearly they had chemistry. And so her sister, there was going to be this auction of bachelors, and Drew was going to be part of it. And so her sister, who's kind of a troublemaker, and I loved her, she buys Drew for Georgia, and that's where the romance kind of takes off. It was fantastic. I gave it 4 cups of coffee. I really, really enjoyed it. Next up, I read Mountain Man's Regret. This is the first book in the Heroes of Mercury Ridge by Pippa Brooke. This was like 40 pages. I did not realize it. I got it from KU. I love KU. And I was like, I love like burly mountain men as a theme. So if you know any romances, send them my way. This one was like so short you could have blinked. And it was, so our main character is Romeo, and our main female character is named Sierra, and she is going to be a tour guide in the mountains, and he is part of the search and rescue in the mountain area. And he finds out that she's back in town, and he like goes to her and he's like, you're mine. And they just start like being together. I'm not, if some people are okay with like that instant like lust, or like the idea that he's just like, caveman, you mine, it doesn't work for me. And so I was just like, and maybe it's because there was only 40 pages. Like they had to like, I don't know. It just felt very bizarre. That's what I'll say. So now's when I went back and read number 1. It's the Dare crossover series, number 1, called Just a Little Hookup. This is by Carly Phillips and Erica Wilde. And as I'm re-looking at my notes, I don't know if all of this series is going to be about an auction, but this one, the same thing. So there's going to be this auction, and our male main character is named Derek, and he is I have to think about how this works. So he is best friends with the female's brother, the main female character's brother. So they grew up together, best friends sort of thing. But he always kind of considered her my best friend's little sister sort of thing. But they were friends. And what happens is he did something when they were kids and caused an issue that got her in trouble, and he basically told on her. And so she decides to buy him in the auction, but it's meant to be for like dating, although she does have a huge crush on him. She's like, I'm gonna make him pay for that, getting me in trouble. And she like has him do all these chores, and he's like, I didn't think that's what we were going to do here. And she's like, well, you were wrong. His ex-fiance is horrible, and she had been a bully to our main character Jessica in high school, and she's still a bully now, and she's not really ready to accept that Derek has moved on, and certainly not moved on to who she sees, to Jessica, who she sees as inferior than her because of her body type, that sort of nonsense. I really, really love this one. I gave it 5 cups of coffee because I thought the banter between Jessica and Derek was so good. I think that's one of the things that Carly Phillips and Erica Wilde do very well. I've read Carly Phillips by herself, and I think she does it well too, but there's something about when you bring those two together, it is magical. If you like banter in your books, I highly suggest checking out this series. But I read another series that's also the two of them together, and I can't think of what it is right now. Hold on. I'm back. The other series that I read was called Book Boyfriend. It was fantastic. Next up, I read The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. I really, really enjoyed this. I have never read Catherine Center before. I'm going to put it right here. I think she's pretty popular. She has a new book that I'm excited to check out called The Rom-Commers. I picked it up from NetGalley after I finished this one. This was so sweet. 4 cups of coffee. I love fake dating. It's one of my favorite tropes. So she's a bodyguard, and she is given the job to protect this heartthrob. He's an actor, an heartthrob. He's like been voted people's sexiest man, you know, that sort of guy. And he's like, well, he's back in his hometown in Texas because his mother is sick. And he's like, I don't want my family worrying that I'm got a stalker and then I need a bodyguard. So we're going to say that we're dating. She's like, huh? He's like, we're going to say that we're dating. And it's the two of them. Again, this one has great banter. It was so sweet, so funny. I really, really, really enjoyed it. 4 cups of coffee. Next up, I read Something Like Hate. This is the first book in the the first book in the Chicago Grizzlies series by Piper Rain. I gave this 4 cups of coffee. It is a professional football romance. I love sports romances. I also thought this one had really good banter. So the moral of the story is, if you have good banter in a romance, I'm probably going to be okay with it. I don't care about the spice level. I don't care about anything else. Yeah, give me the banter and I am there. So if you know books with great banter, send them this way. I'd love to know what your books that you read this month are, what your favorites of the month that you read. Give me a big thumbs up for this video. And until next time, may all your future reads be 5 stars. Bye, everybody.